Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tottenham Hotspur training ground for this Matchday -1 media conference to preview tomorrow's UEFA Nations League fixture against Greece at Wembley Stadium. Joined here by Carsley and John Stones. As ever, we can keep it to 3 questions per person maximum each to ensure we can get around as many people as possible. And raise your hand as and when you do have a question. Tim, if you want to get started.
Hi, Lee.
You okay?
Can we start with Harry Kane? He's not trained with the rest of the players for the last 2 days. Yeah. What are his prospects for the game tomorrow night? And if he doesn't play, John is sat alongside you. Will he be your captain against Greece?
Yeah, Harry's nursing an injury, a small knock. It's something that we won't take a chance with. So it was a great conversation that I was able to have with John last night. To have that responsibility to ask him to captain the team. It's a brilliant achievement for John, something that he deserves. The amount of caps he's got, the experience he's got, the level of professionalism that he shows within the squad, the example he is to the younger players. It was a great conversation to have.
John, I'll throw it to you then. You've been around the England squad now a long time. What does it mean for you to lead the team out at Wembley tomorrow night and for your family?
Definitely everything that I could have dreamed of as a kid. More for my family, I think, to be able to see me walk out as England captain and is a special moment, and one that I can't thank Lee enough for. As he said, a great conversation that we had last night, one that I was a bit speechless in, but an incredible moment for me, and it's a bit more normal actually today. Everything resumes as normal. The preparation, the training that we've done, and our focus is the same. So yeah, to be walking out with the armband on is an absolute honour, and one that I'll cherish forever.
Lee, can I ask you about Cole Palmer?
Yeah,
seems to be the man of the moment. Has he done enough to earn a start now for England? And I'm just wondering, you mentioned last week about his versatility and even potentially playing at left back. Where do you see his best position? Where can he be most effective for you?
Yeah, probably not left back. Yeah, I think Cole's in fantastic form. I think he's carried that into this week. He's such an exciting player, a player that I've worked with for 4 or 5 years now. Cole, along with a lot of the other attacking players, have put themselves into a great position to start the game tomorrow. A game that we're really looking forward to against a tough Greece team. So hopefully we can get a good performance.
Hi Lee. A quick turnaround and not too much time on the training pitch. So will that affect the team that we see tomorrow night at Wembley?
No, we've had enough time. I think we had to bear in mind the amount of games that the players are coming from, and resisting that temptation to do too much with them, because they're so enthusiastic, especially when they come on camp, that we have to be careful that we don't overdo it. So I think we've got the balance right. We've had a really good session today. We travelled down, so I think the lads are now just looking forward to getting to the game.
Solo pomodoro, solo mutti.
Cuir chevelu sec qui démange, vous avez besoin de l'expert Dermapro. Il aide à réparer le cuir chevelu abîmé pour une hydratation jusqu'à 72 heures. Hydratez comme un pro avec Dermapro.
To the game tomorrow.
Jack Grealish missed the session this morning. Will he be available for the match tomorrow?
We'll assess Jack later. Yeah, I think Jack just picked up a slight knock yesterday, but our attitude would be that we wouldn't gamble with any of the players. I think it's important that we put them first rather than ourselves.
And just a question for John. John, you know Cole well from his time at Man City. Obviously, he was important for England at the Euro, scored in the final. But what he's done over the last year and how he stepped up for England, has it surprised you?
No, I was a huge fan of Cole as soon as he came into our first team setup. What he brought to the game, how he played as if he was in the park. I was sad to see him leave. Made him aware of that. But what he's gone on and done is credit to him. How he's conducted himself, how he's stepped up in big moments. He's honestly credit to Cole and what he's doing, and he's in a good moment, and I hope that continues for as long as possible. And what he, as you mentioned before, what he'd done for England and scoring in the final, he's experienced those big games now and big moments, and hopefully more of that to come.
Thanks.
Bellingham, Foden, Palmer. Will you pick one number 10, do you think? Or can you see a prospect of them all playing in one team? How big an issue is that number 10 shirt with so much talent on offer?
Well, I think we've got a lot of options to choose from in terms of our attacking players. Like I spoke about a couple of days ago, I think it's just really important that we try and find that balance. We've got 2 games. We've got a lot of options, and hopefully we can get a really attacking performance tomorrow. We're very lucky that we've got so many options, so it's something that we have to get that balance right, the combinations right, and hopefully pick the right team.
Jude could be the player with the second most appearances before the age of 22, already on 36. Is he undroppable? What impression have you had of him on his return?
Well, obviously he's a fantastic player, a good person, really enthusiastic. I think he seems to take everything in his stride like a lot of the young players do. I think it's really important that we don't put too much pressure on these players, especially the younger ones. We have to make sure that we support them. But like every time I've come into contact with Jude, he's a really impressive person.
Nonny, talking about his chemistry on the field with Cole Palmer, you've watched that over the years. How much, when you put together a team, will you take from your experience of playing with a lot of players and the chemistry that they have with their teams, especially when you come into situations with so many games like this and so little preparation?
Yeah, I think it's important that in my mind, whenever I pick a team, that we try and get the players doing as much as they do at their clubs in terms of the positions that they're in, especially the areas of the pitch. That's really important, and also like I said about the combinations, players that play together. And obviously Cole and Nonny have got a good relationship, but we've seen throughout this week now that the players are capable of adapting quickly to each other, and you generally get that with good players. So we've got a lot of options.
Jack, over there.
Hi, John.
Hi.
How are you finding the new era of the England team since Lee took over?
Quite seamless, to be fair, which is credit to Lee and his team. We've had a great foundation that's been set for quite a few years. That's not been easy to do, and I know that Lee in the background's been a part of that throughout tournaments, and with the younger lads that have come into the squad as well that have worked with him previously. He has obviously made a stamp and put his own style on what he wants and standards, and which I think's been refreshing and really good to work with. And now it's about putting that into play and into practice in the games, and go out and deliver for not only ourselves, for Lee, his staff, and the hard work that we do on the training pitch.
Has much changed for you and the other players in terms of how you go about things?
In what respect?
Preparation, tactically, what it's like at St George's Park?
At St George's, I think it's quite similar. We've come across each other while we're there with obviously different age groups. Tactically, there's been changes. I think that happens with every manager. What they see and what they want to bring out of us, try and get the best out of us as players. Own philosophies that everyone wants to buy into, and these guys watch so much footage of us at our clubs. They try to make it as seamless as possible, that we're doing things at our clubs that we can bring into the England squad, and that's not an easy task to do when you've got so many teams and so many different managers that are telling players different tactics, and yeah, it's been made it as simple as possible for us to go out there and express ourselves and do the things that we're good at. And yeah, the main aim is to win games.
And Lee, now that this is your second camp in charge, can we expect to see more of your identity, more of your personality in how the team plays in the next 2 games?
Yeah, well, I always say it's about the players. You know, we can only try and put them in areas, give them ideas. It's ultimately their responsibility. Then we try and, like John spoke about there, we try and do as much as they do at their clubs. We find that makes the transition quicker. But yeah, I think going off the first camp, there was a lot of positives. Like John says, there was a lot of good things in place as well, foundation wise. So we're in a fortunate position that when we came in, you know, the squad and the team were in a strong position. So hopefully we've tried to build on that.
Thank you. We'll go here next, and then Simon Peach.
Hi Lee.
Okay.
It's been well documented that obviously, you know, some of the players have like pre-match rituals, whether it be, you know, putting their right boot on before their left or having specific meals. Do you have any like superstitions or pre-match rituals that you'll be going through tomorrow before the game?
Me personally?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have. No, I don't think I have.
None at all?
No, not really.
No.
It was different when I was a player. When I was a player, it was a bit different. But as a manager, maybe not as much.
You have enough to stress about anyway.
I've got enough to stress about, yeah.
And just one for you, John, as well. Obviously, like Lee said, you're one of the experienced guys in the team now. It feels like this is almost the third iteration of England's squad you've been part of. How refreshing is it seeing like the young talent that's coming through? And are there any specific players in particular that you've kind of taken on, like specifically in terms of kind of that leadership role?
It's been in such a short space of time to get to know people has been really exciting for me. The lads that I don't know or have never played with before, the likes of Nonny, Angel, sat down and spoke to them and spent some time with them at breakfast, in the gym, and click straight away. And you get to see the real character of people, and that is credit to them, because it's not an easy place to come into when you've got senior players that have been in big games and won a lot in their careers, and that can be daunting sometimes for young players. So it's really refreshing, and I've been super impressed with everyone that's come in. Their attitude towards training, towards the players off the pitch, and getting to know them has been incredible. And still building on those connections. But what we've got so far, and the friendships that we've made is something that we've worked hard on over the years, and we want it to be a comfortable, easy place for new players to come in, and I think they can definitely say that they've come in and felt welcome, and which rightly so, because they deserve to be here.
Can we go Simon next, and then we'll come here?
Hi Lee, just a couple. First of all, with Harry Kane, just to clarify, when you said it's not something you can take a chance on, is that from the start? It sounds like from the start, but I mean, is that he's not going to be involved at all? You're looking towards Finland? Yeah, well, we're not ruling him out yet, just of the game, but he won't start the game. He won't start the game. Hopefully, he'll be in contention then for Sunday. But again, time will tell. It's not something I think we should be rushing. With the